Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me. This is Kalyan Karmakar on what I call Finely Chopped TV, and you're joining a broadcast which I call Foodocracy India. So, Foodocracy India, as you know, is a series where I talk about some of my most memorable and eating experiences across the country, whether it's in street food joints or in local favorites or family run places, historical places, new places, and so on. This is the third consecutive Foodocracy India broadcast which I'm doing in 3 days. In the last couple of days, I had done it at night. I'd done the broadcast at about 9 and 9:30 p.m. In the first one, I spoke about Maharani Kochuri in Kolkata, and in the next one, which was yesterday, I spoke about the sandwich wallas of Nariman Point. Today, I'm going to speak to you about Rawat Kachori or Rawat Mishtan Bhandar in Jaipur. And there are three reasons why I'm doing this broadcast and why I'm doing it this time in the morning and or rather afternoon and not at night. Firstly, is that when I did the broadcast day before yesterday, I had said that I was debating between doing Rawat Mishtan Bhandar and Maharani, which I ultimately did. So I said that I will do Rawat soon, and I'm doing that today. Also, the last couple of days, when I started my broadcast, I started off by saying it's 9 at night and it's been raining and we've been home and therefore we've been bored and therefore I'm coming to do the broadcast. Well, it's not raining anymore in Mumbai. It's bright and sunny. And then I thought that I must come and do the broadcast with you. So a lot of you are saying hello, like my friend Shashwati, Haren Mehta, Cookin by Ruchi Agarwal, and lots of other people, Dibendu as well, and Samir Malkani, my friend from FBI, so on Facebook. So listen, I'm also going to do this a bit like a podcast. So in case I miss the flow in between, I might not be responding to you. I will be uploading this later on my IGTV and YouTube and podcast, Radio Finely Chopped, so you can see it there. I will try to also reply to comments as and when I can. Now, I told you that there are three reasons why I'm doing this broadcast and today and at this time. One, like I said, was because when I did it day before yesterday, I promised to speak to you about Rawat Mishtan Bhandar. But last 2 days I did it at night. And, yes, Ruchi Agarwal, I can see your posts. I can see your comments. And it was raining and I sort of did it out of boredom. Today it's bright and sunny and I said I must do it now. And there was a couple of other reasons. This morning at 9:30 or a bit after that, I logged on to the food writing session which Dr. Kurush Dalal does along with Mythiopia, and I had a session with them. So I woke up early for that, and I was wearing a nice shirt, and the table from which I do the podcast was kept in the middle of the hall where I do my podcast from. So I thought that since I'm wearing a nice shirt and since I'm going to go live and also the table is there, let me do it. But the only thing was I got a bit delayed because it took me a bit of time for the internet to connect. But all of that is done, and it's good to see a lot of you joining in. Hi, Preeti Patel Yadav, good to see you as well. Now, day before night when I did the Foodocracy India podcast, I spoke to you about a place called Maharani, a street corner place in Kolkata, and about the kochuris which you get there, which is what we call kachoris in Bengali. Though it's run by a gentleman called Ramchandra Gupta, who's come to Calcutta from Uttar Pradesh about 50 years back. And I said that the weather is wet and it's raining and it's slightly cool, and what you want is deep fried stuff. Well, you want deep fried stuff at all times of the day and the year. So even if it's sunny and grimy today, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about a place called Rawat Mishtan Bhandar in Jaipur, which is synonymous with one particular snack you get over there, which is Piyaz Kachori. In fact, just as there's a restaurant there called Lucky in Bandra where I stay, which is synonymous for its biryani and is called Lucky Biryani. So Rawat is often referred to as Rawat Kachori instead of Rawat Mishtan Bhandar. It's a 100-year plus establishment. The original one is possibly from Jodhpur or Jaisalmer, and the same family then opened the one at Jaipur. The one at Jaipur is the most famous. In fact, Arunaba Hajra saying it's an old haunt of his during the high school days. If it's the same Arunaba, then we were in college in Presidency in Kolkata together. If it's the same Arunaba Hajra. So, my first encounter with Rawat happened in 2011, which was not my first trip to Jaipur. My first trip to Jaipur was 3-4 years back. At that time, I was still in market research, and I had gone there to conduct some workshops for our field team in my first trip and landed at the airport in the evening, went straight to the place where we were staying. In the morning, I came into town, did a bit of shopping. I hadn't started food blogging yet, so I was not so much into discovering local joints. Then, went back to the resort and did our workshop, and the food was some unmemorable buffet, and I left. 2011 is when I got to go back to Jaipur, and I was still in market research, and I was doing some focus groups for an automotive brand, and by then I'd started blogging, so I would also look forward to these trips to discover local joints. At that time, I was pretty active on Twitter, and Twitter is where you'd get a lot of good inputs on food. Now it's more on politics and Arnab Goswami, but at that time we used to get a lot of good inputs on Twitter. So whenever I would travel, I would put a post on Twitter saying that I'm going to so and so place. Tell me where should I eat. And among the various recommendations I got for Jaipur, and one person whom I strongly sort of listened to, which was Gaurav Hajela, who runs a social media agency called Pathfinders from Jaipur, was Rawat, and specifically for the Pyaz Kachori. Now, Rawat, like I said, is a bit of an institution in Jaipur. So it is a bit like, say, Nizam's in Kolkata, or Kareem's in Delhi, or Sitaram Chole Bhature, Chana Bhature in Delhi, or Pancham Puriwala, or Britannia in Mumbai, or Koshi's in Bangalore. This is the place where people will always tell you to go if you're an outsider, and therefore locals will also have points of views on it. Where sorry, just one second. I need to fix the audio at this house. Sorry, I was recording from home, and there was a lot of noise coming from the other room where my wife was on a work call, so I just shut the door. Yeah, so that's a place where a lot of people will recommend you to go, and then there will be people who will tell you that no, there are better places to go there, and as locals we know better places, and that's true. That's true that there will often be places in bylines and so on which only a person who lives there will know, and some of these places do tend to get overrated, and I do see such comments on Rawat as well. But whether it's really overrated or not is something which I'm going to talk to you about. And I'm going to run once again. I'm so sorry, but the intercom is ringing. I think someone's come. Hello? उसको नीचे रखो. Yeah, that's the beauty of doing a live broadcast, and I'm sure many of you who are working from home and connecting with Zooms and so on with your working groups are familiar with this, where you're in the middle of some important stuff, and suddenly some courier comes, parcel comes, or whatnot. I've just told them to ignore it. Well, so I went to Rawat when I was in that trip, and I would say that I was so impressed by it that I went back the next day, which was my last day of that trip. And then a few years later, in 2014 or something, just before my book The Traveling Belly was released, and in the Jaipur chapter over there I have spoken about Rawat. I was invited by Twitter to go and speak at WPP Stream, which is the digital media conference organized by WPP, which was being held at Jaipur. So Twitter had launched a new tool called 360 Degree in Periscope, and they invited me to talk about it at the stream. So I went to Rawat and did a 360 degrees, and then the next day spoke about it to the WPP agency folks and their clients and so on. Ironically or coincidentally, I have worked in at least 2 WPP agencies myself. I started my career in IMRB in market research, and then later at TNS. My wife has earlier worked at JWT, and now she's at Ogilvy, which are all WPP agencies. So let me first tell you about the last trip when I went to Jaipur and to Rawat and what happened, and then I'll tell you more about Rawat, what to eat there, and what is this Pyaz Kachori all about, and what does it mean in the context of Rajasthani food from an outsider's point of view, of course. So when I went there the last time for this Twitter visit, and I landed in the evening, and we drove down straight to Rawat, and then the hotel we were staying at, I think, was Fairmont, or the one beside it, which is pretty far off. So we went to Rawat first, which is in the heart of the center, and it's in an area called Sindhi Camp in Jaipur. So you saw Samir Malkani of FBI joining in. So he belongs to the Sindhi community. Sindhi camp normally refers to settlements which the Sindhi community settled in after independence, when many of them came in from what is now Pakistan, because the original Sindhi region is Karachi in Sindh. So even in Mumbai, you have Sindhi camp at places like Chembur and so on. So Rawat Mishtan Bhandar, which is in Jaipur, and the original one, like I said, is probably in Jaisalmer or something, or Jodhpur. I was trying to figure that out. But it's Mishtan Bhandar, so it's a huge sweet shop. By Mumbai standards, it's pretty huge, and they have progressed from the original sweet shop business which they were. It's a family-run place. So there are also one or two adjacent places to it, which are full-scale restaurants, restaurants serving vegetarian food, and then there's also a hotel which is run by the family. So there's also a Rawat hotel over there. So they've, like, the family's obviously grown over the years, and the complex shows the spread of the Rawat family, and it's great to see homegrown businesses do so well and grow within the city, and through the strength of their own enterprise, great products which they show, and if in the journey some people call them overrated, well, so on. I mean, no one can ever satisfy everyone. So I reached in the evening, which was maybe around 5 o'clock or something like that, straight from the airport, and I went to Rawat, and I was specifically going to talk about the Pyaz Kachori in my 360 degree for Twitter, which was like a 360 degree live broadcast on Periscope. And then I was told that the kachoris were getting fried, so we'd have to wait for it. So I was familiar with the shop. I've been to the shop before, and I was standing in the corner, and I knew that there was one particular corner to the left when you enter, where the freshly fried kachoris come in, the gewars, and the mirchi vadas, and everything which is famous there. And then there are these few tabletops in the middle of the shop where you can stand and eat what you're eating, or you pack. In fact, there are people who pack Pyaz kachoris from Jaipur and take it back to other cities. And there have been friends who got it for me. I must confess, while it's very sweet of them, Pyaz kachori is something you need to eat freshly fried. Like, it doesn't travel that well, and if someone gets it for you, maybe consider heating it on a frying pan, saucepan, or a tawa than in the microwave, because the microwave completely kills it. So we were waiting, and suddenly this gentleman came in from the shop, from the inside, in a big tray, and on the tray were a pile of Pyaz kachoris. In fact, I tried to find an old photograph of it, so you can find it on my blog, where I've written about Rawat Pyaz Kachori, and if you're on Instagram and live, you can see that. So that's how the Pyaz Kachori looks. So it's a kachori, and like I was saying when I did the Maharani broadcast the other day, kachori, if you're not from India, is a deep fried stuffed deep fried bread, which could be like a flat bread or like puffed up and crunchy. The Pyaz Kachori is somewhere in between. It's not like fully deep fried. I mean, it is fully deep fried, but it's not fully puffed up like a ball, and nor is it fully flat. So I'll tell you what happened when this guy came in. So this guy walked in with the tray of kachoris, and suddenly, like, there was a sea of people who went straight to the counter. You had to buy your tickets and coupons earlier, and then so there's a sea of people. So it's almost like if you're from Mumbai, it's when Mr. Bachchan comes to his veranda in Juhu, or if Shah Rukh Khan comes to his terrace in Bandra, and the way the crowds come and swell, and they're trying to wave at him and saying that when will our time come, when will we get to see him, and so on. So that's how it is. And for those of you who are wondering where you'll get to see Baby Loaf, my cat, there he is. He's woken up from his slumber and doing a bit of his scratching. And if my other cat, little Ninky, comes, you will see him jumping all over me, as he was doing my class earlier this morning, or in the broadcast yesterday. So the Pyaz Kachori at Rawat, among his fans, probably has a stronger fan following, I would say, than even Mr. Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan and so on. And everyone was like, there was this bated, sense of anticipation, and the air was electric. You could cut the tension with a knife. And why the tension? Because there's a huge crowd, and people are like, will they get their kachori in time, and this, that, and they're clutching to their coupons and stuff. And if you're new to it, and I wasn't because this was my second trip. Then you'd wonder that will your orders come to you, and but even if it's your first trip, but if you're from India, you're used to crowds, you're used to getting into local trains or buses with crowds, you're used to standing at fuchka walas or pani puris or roll shops or vada pav shops or dosa joints and bearing the crowds. So it's a memory right now for us during the lockdown, with social distancing and having to wear masks and staying home, which we are doing. But that is a part of living in India, our culture, our ethos, our food culture. I mean, streets and street foods at these corner joints is where our food comes alive. It almost makes food like an adventure sport. And it's not just about the sheer act of eating. It's almost like all your senses and all your muscles and sinews and everything gets together. So I went there, I have been well trained in the private buses and minibuses of Kolkata, the local trains of Mumbai, and I know the puja pandals and so on. So I know how to shoulder my way in, and I did so, and I've showed my coupon, and I got the kachori, and they give it on a plate if you want this thing, and I went to one of the tabletops. Of course, I had to take pictures for Instagram and my blog, and that's what you were seeing over there if you're on Facebook. And then I sat down to eat, or rather got ready to eat because I was standing. I also knew from experience that it's going to be hot and very hot, the kachori. So I took my fingers and gingerly started breaking little bits, and then sort of blew my breath on it and to cool it down, and popped it in. You don't while you've been and this is a tough thing because you've been waiting for it impatiently, and then it comes and you're super excited, and that's where discipline comes in, being able to hold yourself, a bit of self-restraint, because if you don't, you're going to burn yourself up, and that's not the blaze of glory you want to go up in. And so I took a break and then popped it into my mouth, and the memories of my first trip, which was 2-3 years back, came alive. It was so beautiful, it's so exquisite. So the covering, which is made with maida, was very, very flaky and thin, and it sort of, once you bit into it, it just gave into the bite. And the thing is that it was not like a character, with no character or no spirit, like for example the batter and the fish and chips of UK. But there was a lot of spicing in the batter, in the maida coating, so that itself brought it alive. And then there was empty air, and katak, you reach the filling. Now piyaz kachori, piyaz means onion, and you would expect the filling to be all about onions, right? But yes and no, because what's inside is actually a potato and onion mash. So you'll get a bit of softness of potato, the sudden crunch of onion, a bit of taste of hit of garlic, little bit of chili, suddenly a bit of tanginess. So it's almost like a multi-layered orchestra, the food experience, eating experience of having the piyaz kachori. And this is the third time I was having it, because in my first trip I went there twice. In the second trip, again, like I was there only for one day, but the evening I landed, I went there, and you can't have one piyaz kachori because you always have at least one more. So there are lots and lots of sweets you can get at Rawat Mishtan Bhandar, lassi, bhujiyas and namkeens. They are famous for their mirchi vada, mirchi pakora. I tried that. It was nice. It was a gram flour besan coating with a big fat green pepper inside and bit of a potato mash. It's also famous for its mawa kachori, which is kachori filled with mawa, the sweet one. That didn't really work for me, but there are many fans of it. But the piyaz kachori is the winner. Now, the next question is the piyaz kachori of Rawat overrated? Because I saw some comments like that on social media. I first of all feel that dubbing anything as overrated without explaining why is a very overrated way of reacting to things. Even I was guilty of that, but I think that as I sort of grew up and learned to appreciate, understand, and respect food better, I stopped doing that. And yes, you might not like things, right? In which case, and if you disliked it so much that you feel that people should know that so that they don't go there, then at least you should explain why you didn't like it. And which is what I do, or I keep quiet about it. But I had 2 trips to Jaipur last year and this beginning of this year, I was working with a French champagne company who had got chefs from all over the world, and they were shooting in Jaipur. So I was the local sort of host for them. So I met them for the recce first, and then over the next 2-3 days when we were shooting early this year before the pandemic and the lockdown. And as a part of that, we went for some of the street food experiences and to take the chefs over there. And there was this young team from the Delhi Food Walks. They took us to a couple of Piyaz Kachori places, which is near the gated market area, far from where Rawat is, which is where all the touristy places happen, the shopping areas and the Hawa Mahal and all of that. So we went to some couple of these street corner places, one on the first visit, one on the second. And there is slightly different from Rawat. So what they do in Rawat is that they give you the kachori and that's it, end of story. In fact, I saw some people complain about the fact that they don't give you any chutneys and whatever. And there's a reason why they complained, because in the street food places, what they do is that they give you chutneys. They'll give you a green chutney, they'll give you a red tamarind and khajur and imli chutney sort of stuff. And then there's a green chutney with chili and coriander and things like that. It's in that room. So they give you these chutneys, and the second place where I'd gone to, they gave you the chutneys on the side. But the first place I went to, they made it like a chart. In fact, my friend Fritz Gonzalez, who's from Ogilvy, he was telling me about the kachori culture of Bhopal, which I've written about in my blog, Finely Chopped, in the Foodocracy Kitchens event or article, where I wrote about the food of Madhya Pradesh. I wrote about one dish which Fritz misses a lot and in Mumbai and makes it a point to have when he goes to Bhopal, which is the kachori. And you have to go and ask for one kachori banakar. So he said that when you ask for a kachori banakar, what they do is that they take a khasta kachori out and they break it, and within that they put yogurt, dahi, they put green chutney, red chutney, imli, and so on, and give it to you as a chaat. So that is what the first street food place I went to at Jaipur did. They gave me the kachori as a chaat, which is very different from Rawat, where they give you just the kachori. Now what happened then was that a chaat becomes a complete experience of what's inside, which in this case is the kachori, the yogurt, the soft, the chaat masala, the green and red chutneys and this, that. But the kachori doesn't become the hero of it. It becomes a multi-starrer. So, I was talking to Mr. Bachchan before. So it was like a 70s multi-starrer where there'll be Amitabh Bachchan, there'll be Rishi Kapoor, there'll be Vinod Khanna, Shatrughan Sinha, and, whole lot of people. But Rawat's kachori is like watching Zanjeer or Dawn, where it's all about Amitabh Bachchan. So either he does a great job or he messes up. But the film or the story, hey Fritz. So Fritz is joining in, and Fritz says that he's had kachoris all over North India, and he says that the ones in Bhopal are legendary. So everyone in Jaipur who are proud of your Piyaz kachoris, all of us in Kolkata who are proud of our khasta kachoris, let's all, once the pandemic open, catch the bus and go to Bhopal and get into a duel with Fritz on the kachori banakar. but jokes apart, so you got the difference, right? So in Rawat's it's a single starrer, like it's Amitabh Bachchan in Dawn or Zanjeer, and in the chaat shops of Jaipur near the gated market area, it's like a multi-starrer. It's like watching Naseeb or Amar Akbar Anthony with Amitabh Bachchan, Vinod Khanna, not Amir Khan, Rishi Kapoor and Shatrughan Sinha and so on. Now, that is where the beauty of the Rawat's kachori comes in. Now, I must confess that I last went there in 2014-15, just after the Travelling Belly came out. And I'm putting this again and again because I'm hoping that you'll go to Amazon and order it if you haven't already. There's a Jaipur chapter where I've written about Rawat. So in Rawat, it all comes down to the magnificence of the kachori. And the 3 times I went and ate there, it is truly magnificent. From the flakiness of the coating, the little bit of spicing which is there in the maida crust, the mini nanosecond which you need to reach the center when your teeth sink into air, it's like outer space, to release the filling with the mashed potato, the mashed onion, and the bites of potato, the bites of a certain bit of garlic and all of that. So this kachori is this thing. And also, as Fritz is pointing out, and maybe he's doing his bit of his defense for Bhopal that it's a piyaz kachori which you get in Rawat, and there are various types of kachori. So there's a khasta kachori which is more with like urad dal and hing. Then of course there are the flat kachoris where with green peas, the matar kachori of MP and the Karaishuri kachori of Kolkata, Bengal. In Bihar and Jharkhand, you also get the sattu kachori. So there can be many sort of fillings. But so that I don't digress, I wanted to keep this in mind that in Rawat, it is really all about the kachori. And while in a lot of street food places, they will also put in chutneys, chaats, and so on. So it becomes a different experience, you know. So if you go by the classical, say the European school of eating, you know, or what they talk about in MasterChef, that don't do too much to food. It's all about simplicity. I'm going to sort of, you know, put the elephant in the room here because we're talking about a vegetarian place. But you know, when they say that when you're having a good steak or seafood and all that, you should just put a little bit of salt and maybe lime or whatever and leave it to you know, the goodness of the produce. So that's the same school which I belong to, and which I feel what the Rawat kachori does, because it's really the goodness of the kachori which comes alive, while it's a composite package when you're mixing you know, the yogurts, the dips and things. In my last trip, I also was staying at the ITC Rajputana, and in all the ITC hotels they have this local love section where they show food, showcase food from the city where they're based in. And we were shooting, so we did not really have much time to eat in the hotel. But on the last day when we were flying out, we were shooting at a place called Samod. And before we took the train to Samod, I just went to the breakfast area at ITC Rajputana, and on the phone I placed my order for the piyaz kachori, which was not on the menu that day, but they do have it sometimes. So I went down to have that, and they also gave some mirchi kachori and all that. And I must say that I loved that. You know, earlier I used to be a bit skeptical about getting good street food dishes or local dishes in hotels, but I've seen that Indian hotels, ITC of course, the JW Marriott surprisingly because it's an American chain, but so a lot of these places are making a concerted effort to get good local flavors in for say visitors or tourists or guests who either are not willing to travel, or sometimes you just do not have time to travel if you're in a short trip. And of course, ITC does Indian food pretty well. And what interested me about the piyaz kachori at Rajputana was that it had a very home-like feel to it. Now, I've not had it in the house of any Rajasthani. In fact, the closest I've come to that is when our friend Shashwati, who lives down the road, she made piyaz kachoris twice during the lockdown. She's Bengali, but she saw YouTube videos and made some really good ones and then dropped them home. So when you're having a homemade piyaz kachori, it's not as thick or as crisp as a street food or a mithai shop one. Like there's a slight suppleness to it. There's a slight little bit more of texture. It's like it's more flaky in a sense. It's not crunchy. It's more crisp than crunchy. And you know, it's almost equal weightage given to the filling and to the crust. And that is what I saw in the ITC Rajputana kachori. So now for me that, along with the Rawat kachori, would be the famous favorite piyaz kachoris I've had in Jaipur. This is one area where I found the street food places which I went to be not as exciting. But it's another story when you look at the dal bati churma, because when you have it at the restaurants versus if you go to these places at the bus stops, it's completely different. Well, that was everything which I had to say to you about Jaipur in north of India. And just as I'm signing off, there's someone called Suvarna Prithvi. Sorry, I'm not being able to pronounce your name. Who's joining in from Udupi in Karnataka. I'd been to Udupi a year or two back when I was staying at Mangalore on a food trip, and then we drove down to Kundapura to try the chicken ghee roast, and on the way back we stopped at Udupi, which is really the home of, it's not only a temple town but it's a home of all the South Indian Shetty restaurants in Mumbai and across the country. And I stopped at a place called Mitra restaurant, Mitra Bhavan, and had the goli bhaje in the evening. So I was talking to you about all Jaipur in North India all this while, and now suddenly I swung to South India and Udupi and the goli bhaje at Mitra. It's also very famous for Garbar ice cream a bit close by. There's a place called Diana in UDP, not Jaipur by the way, which has invented what is called the Garbar ice cream, but it's more famous now in what you get in Mangalore. And well, that's it. I can just continue talking and continue talking, but it's middle of the day, and I know that some of you, like Fritz, for example, is in the middle of a work day. So I'm going to sign off now. It was nice talking to you, and for a change, after the last 2 days, not on a rainy day in Mumbai, not in the night in Mumbai, but in the bright sunlight, and wearing a new shirt actually, and not a t-shirt. And it's been lovely talking to you, all of you during the lockdown. And I'm going to save this video and put it up in IGTV. I'm also going to put it up on my YouTube channel, Finely Chopped TV, and on my podcast channels, Radio Finely Chopped, which you'll find on Anchor, Spotify, and so on. So thank you so much for joining. If there are any questions, comments on Rawat Kachori or Rawat Mishtan Bhandar or Pyaz Kachori from any of you who are watching me, then I'm willing to take it, or I'm going to sign off. And for those who are watching me on Instagram, you can see Baby Loaf, who's come back again to scratch and answer your questions on Pyaz Kachori. So, and yes, one more thing, like I was telling you in the beginning, you please use this hashtag Foodocracy India. It's a play on the word democracy, but just use this to share your favorite memories, like how Fritz, you told me about Gupta's chaat and kachori, which I wrote about in Finely Chopped, my blog, when I wrote about the food of Madhya Pradesh. So if you've got stories like this, whichever social media platform you're comfortable with, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, video, writing, any of that, just share it. Use the hashtag Foodocracy India. If you tag me, nice. If you don't tag me, no problem. But more importantly, like what Arihant7 is saying about Rawat, that lovely kachoris, lovely memories. Let's make a collection of these memories and keep spreading them. While we are still in different stages of the lockdown across the country, let's create this repository of memories for the time when we come out and surface again, and send at least a lot of good vibes and create a lovely aura, and give a shout out to these legendary places for the hard work which they're doing and they have done over the years, and for all the lovely times they've given all their customers and any of us who've gone there. Let's talk about these memories. We've had enough of food analysis and lists and awards and all of that. वो तो सब तो होता रहेगा. But food is about enjoyment. Food is about joy. It's about sustenance. It's about nourishment. It's about memories. It's about nostalgia. I can bet you that in every meal you have, there'll be some bit of memory in that. So let's share that using the hashtag Foodocracy India. And if you want to read more of my Jaipur stories, you can either get them on my blog, finelychopped.net, or I've written about it also on NDTV Food and also in Femina, so on my blogs over there. And here's my book, The Traveling Belly. It has a chapter on Jaipur, and you can get it on Amazon and order it, and other places as well. So this is Kalyan Karmakar signing off. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to come back to you soon. And I like doing this in the daytime because nice light and so on. So catch you soon, and take care. Stay safe wherever you are. If you're in Jaipur and if you get a chance to have a Pyaz Kachori, do remember me at that time and have an extra one for me. Okay, bye. Take care and stay safe. Wear your mask. And there's Anindo or Madhushri coming in. I think it's Anindo if he's saying nice shirt, boss. Thank you. Notun Jama. It was there all this while. I was talking in Kurusha's class today. So I thought, let me wear it today. So, okay, bye. Thank you so much. And I just did this podcast so that you could see the shirt. Okay, bye. Thanks so much for joining. Eat well, stay safe. And I read a nice sort of formula in the Times today about staying safe in these times. Use the WMDs, not the ones which Saddam Hussein was supposed to have but didn't have, but basically wash, mask, distance. So wash your hands as frequently as you can, wear masks when around people and outside, and maintain social distance. And Anshuman, Ansh, hello to you too. And so good to see everyone, and take care. And if you missed it here or couldn't catch the entire thing, you can go to Finely Chopped, The Finely Chopped on IGTV. You can go to Finely Chopped by Kalyan Karmakar on Facebook. See it there, or you can go to Finely Chopped TV on YouTube, or you can go to my podcast, Radio Finely Chopped. So listen, I mean, it's going to be there everywhere. You just have to go and pick it up. Okay, take care. Bye, bye, bye. See ya. See ya.